This is an unedited recording of the full meeting. Public comments are held at the end of the meeting. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and leave a comment. It really helps the algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get all the upcoming videos from our channel. Thank you and enjoy the video.
Alright, I call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Please take your seats. There was an executive session held prior to tonight's meeting to discuss personnel and possible litigation, and another executive session was held on July 15th to discuss personnel as well. Roll call, please.
Ister. Here. Savage. Here. Brocious.
Here.
Barnhart. Here. Martina.
Here.
Is there any public comment on agenda items at this time? Any public comment on agenda items at this time? All right, moving on. Old business. There is no old business, but there is some new business. New business, Mr. Backard.
Looking for a vote to proceed with notice to proceed for Reagan Street traffic intersection improvements to Stroh electric.
Questions, anyone? All right, so I will make that into a motion. Do what? Oh, go ahead.
Ister. Yes. Savage.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Brocious.
Yes. Susquehanna change order.
Excuse me. This is a change order for an 8-inch water line main from ductile to C90 DR and the unit prices. This was already done. Municipal authority is aware of this and agreed to it. So I'm just looking for a vote in the affirmative on it.
Make that motion.
Second.
Barnhart. Yes. Martina.
Yes.
Ister. Yes. Savage.
Yes.
Brocious.
Yes. Moving on, city administrator ordinance, first reading, Mr. Backard.
Currently, we do not have a city administrator ordinance within our codes. So this is adding that back into our code. This actually follows third-class city code with a few changes, specifically working with the city clerk on any investigations or disciplinary actions or recommendations, I guess I should say, to city council. And then working to prepare the budget with for council with all other entities not specifically doing it.
So, question. So, what's the thing that's on E-code now about the city administrator?
That was repealed actually by council end of 2023.
I understand that, but correct. Well, Joel isn't here. But isn't what's on E-code what we need to? I mean, unless we change it, isn't what is on E-code? Isn't that what we need to follow legally?
No.
So whatever's on, so whatever people find on E-code could be wrong, and we're not the one, and that's not what we're following. Is that what you're saying?
The one on E-code actually doesn't exist anymore.
I know, I get it, but saying so what's on E-code is wrong.
It's not necessarily wrong.
But
It's
it's
not like it's illegal. I guess like the language in there is not like it's legal, but it was repealed.
Okay, with that being said though, so a lot of these duties are the same duties as the city clerk. So so in here it says dealing with personnel now. So who do people go to for personnel? Do they go to the city administrator or do they go to the city clerk?
So we've been working you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we've been working within the city to ensure that there's other
cross-trained.
issues.
Yeah, I understand. But
Yeah.
so right now, if this passes this meeting, next meeting, who will they go to?
We could go to Jeff. Fine.
Okay, well, they don't want to deal with Jeff and they go to you. So is that okay too?
Well, I guess they could come to me, but eventually, I mean, all of it heads to council anyway.
I understand that, but if we're having two people do the same jobs, there's one thing to be cross-trained, but to do the same job, it's going to create confusion. And when we did this a couple years ago, we had this exact same conversation. And this is my matter of opinion. When Jody was here, sorry, I don't mean to bring you into this, but you're sitting here. But when Jody was here years ago, there was controversy on who had control over departments, because with this, it's saying that supervisors will report to you, then you report, not want to say you, but the city administrator, then they report to council. That always didn't fly with certain council people, and there was controversy there. So then we decided, okay, we'll separate the duties of having internal, exterior job duties, which we have now with the city clerk doing the internal personnel, HR, all that stuff, and the city administrator doing the external stuff, dealing with the public, meetings, all that kind of stuff. So what's going to happen? Are you going to still continue to do the external stuff, or are you going to continue to still do the grants? Because in here, there's nothing that says about grants.
Well, so under 11, it says perform such other duties as may be designated by city council. So council already designated grants to me.
Well, I understand that, but I don't want to have thrown out there, oh, it's not in my job description, because that does happen from time to time with individuals with, oh, it's not in my job description, I don't have to do it.
Well, from my understanding, the way that things have been done in the past, the reason to have that at the end is kind of a catch-all to.
No, I understand
to
why
honestly
it's in
say,
there.
you guys can tell me or anybody that has that in their job description to do what you want to do. So really, if anything, that actually adds more protection for council, not so much the employee.
No, I get it, I'm just saying there's a lot of duplicated, like I said, I'm concerned about the duplicated duties between the city administrator and the city clerk, who people are going to report to, who has the final say. It says in here about discipline, so I'm going to say an example. Let's just say you want to do the discipline on an employee, and you come to this conclusion, and the clerk wants to come to a different conclusion. What outcome, who do we go with?
I'm confused.
So for example, right now, all discipline goes to the city clerk. The city clerk does his investigation, comes up with this result saying, all right, this is my suggestion to council what we do with the employee. So you both do an investigation, you both come to two different conclusions.
That's not, no, we work together on it. There
Yeah,
wouldn't be a set, like, it's not like I would interview people and say, hey, I interview the same people on Monday, then Jeff interviews the same people on Tuesday. That's not.
No, I get that, but when you have, like, up here, we're council 5, we disagree, but there's a majority vote 3-2. With you guys, it's you want to do this and he wants to do that, it's a 1-1 tie. What discipline are we going to go with?
I think that would be up to council.
So we're going to come and say, oh, you can do this or do this? That doesn't make any sense.
But council's the one that has the final say. So I'm not saying we would not agree on something, but even if we gave a recommendation, two separate recommendations to council, that would be up to you. But also at the same time, the reason we have our, I'll say non-uniform handbook and the steps in there is to actually make sure that we have things in place that you don't have to make a judgment call. Like, I don't have to pull something off the wall and say, I think this is how it should be. That's the point of the non-uniform handbook, which Jeff already follows too.
No, I get it.
So
I just understand why we're having two people do the exact, I'm just saying in that scenario, do the exact same job. Like, what's wrong with the system that we have in place right now? I understand the cross-training. It's just like when people cross-train, we don't add stuff to their job description. As you said, it's like number 11, you're designated duties. So in your one right now, I'm assuming it's in their designated duties. Why don't we say, all right, learn the different positions. What's wrong with what we have in place right now, other than learning the duties?
Nothing exists right now.
Okay, but I'm saying, so
So
hasn't existed in how long?
Yes.
No, that's what I'm saying. So why does it have to exist now? Are there issues with what the system has right now and what we're doing?
Other than not having any technically job duties that I can point down to and say, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
So the
Yes.
grants, so you're telling me there's nothing in the city record anywhere saying what the city administrator has to do?
That has not been, there's nothing in my contract my contract specifically says grants, that's it.
I mean, so there's something, is there?
Yes,
So
but it
you're saying it has to be more detailed?
So, and it was repealed specifically, city administrator ordinance. So
Okay.
there's nothing in there, and it also reflects, I think it says Exhibit A in my contract.
So you're saying that you need to have more details in your current job description, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying this would.
Give you more
for
detail.
that. Correct.
Okay, like, I just think we need to have more discussion about it, since it is an ordinance that affects everybody.
Can I say, sorry, Accessibility to you, is your door gonna be locked from here on out, is it gonna be open for people to come visit you?
I have set,
And then again, are you gonna answer the
I've
phone or the text when somebody reaches out?
I have set hours and for people to come in.
You're gonna be a city administrator and you've got employees who might have a problem, who wanna come to you, and you're gonna have to set an hour for them to come back?
No, I'm talking about the public, but
Why is that? I don't
But like the
understand
clerk's
why-
office is open
I
all
don't
day, every
understand
day.
part why I can't get an answer from you when I need a question answered about grants or something like that.
I do
And
answer
I'm
you.
sent, yeah, come on, Kurt,
I do.
I can call you, you don't answer the phone. Jim can pick up the phone, I'm sitting right next to me, call you, and you pick up the phone.
But you didn't
So
call my
why is
cell
that?
phone, you called that phone.
I called cell phone and phone. James? I'm asking you, did I call him when you said there and he doesn't answer?
I take it.
Oh, you s-
Boys.
Look,
And
I'll let you right
and-
now. I'll tell you that,
and-
I'll let you right now.
Jeff, I think we discussed it before we even come up there. I think, Lisa, there's some things that,
This needs to be looked over. Who wrote this?
I'm sorry, what did
It's
you
the
say?
third, this is the third class city.
But, okay,
code.
let's be honest
The
right now.
council approved, the
So,
council told you to do this?
Yeah, we
The
talked
council
about,
probably just, Lisa. This is a major change in our ordinances.
we have,
To add something to the ordinance that city administrator doesn't exist in our ordinances,
Okay, I-
currently, yes, that would be a major change.
Council just,
Yes,
it's a
very
major
good.
change.
Here's a simple question. Jim, not this is for Jim. So you're gonna oversee the day-to-day operations and oversee the supervisor, correct or incorrect, according to this?
Along, it's same as Jeff, correct, yes.
Okay,
It's not
so-
like it would be, I want to be specific here. This does not change anything that Jeff does. This
Oh,
does not change
I'm not-
anything. That does not mean it takes the place. It does not take anything away from
I'm
Jeff
not
either.
disputing that at all. So my question is, so when Carl's running around like a chicken with his head cut off during events and stuff, does that mean you're gonna come in and help him? Since you're technically his supervisor. Are you gonna come in on the weekends and help him? When John gets a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning with a property and he has to have someone go down there and placard, are you gonna come in and do that since you're overseeing the supervisor now? So like, right, John?
So, no, hold on. So I have a question. Actually, since Jody, sorry, but when you were city administrator, were you, and you had the
If you wanna
ordinance
plead
to
the
oversee
fifth too, you
things,
can.
did you go and placard, properties? Did you go and placard properties?
To that, no.
So,
But you want to be the supervisor who oversees the supervisor, so if you don't know what the supervisor details entail and what they need to do and all those things, but you're gonna give them directive on what to do. Like,
I didn't, you asked if I was going to.
I'm about to say, but you're gonna be, but see, I don't know if you understand, I didn't understand it until John explained it to me. Like, when there's 3 people, or John, correct me if I'm wrong, on the 911 call, if they need to call city officials. I'm saying, are you gonna be one of those, since you're the supervisor who oversees the code office supervisor, are you gonna be that individual? Because it was normally the code office supervisor, is that going to be you now? That's what I'm asking.
Well, that's up to council. If they decide that, then yes.
Okay, once again, when there's a storm that comes through and DPW guys have to come in and clear the streets, are you gonna be one of the guys that come in and clear the streets and make sure everything's good with the public?
That was actually supposed to be me, but that was taken away, so yes.
Okay, so, once again, I'm just going to clarify this. So once again, with Parks and Rec, because we all know that Carl's understaffed, when he is understaffed for events, that means you're gonna come in and help Carl do all that stuff also.
So let me alleviate some of the concerns. I was actually hired to be the city administrator for the city of Sunbury, and I was hired to actually do all those things.
Okay?
Council, some individuals on council at that time did not, after I was hired, did not want me to have all that. So it was taken away, and it was supposed to come back within a year. It did not.
When was it supposed to come back in here? Because I was here when this happened.
I know, some individuals may not remember, but,
I didn't, the only people who were here were Jim and I, and we all voted to do it like we did it right now.
it happened before the city ordinances came.
I'm not disputing the city ordinance, I'm just saying what we are right now. And now 3 years later, now it's bringing up how you want to bring it back.
I think we should look at this a little longer before we vote on it. The same as my opinion is, I mean, what's the salary that's blank? I don't
Nate,
understand.
go ahead.
Say it again? Oh, well, that just means
I would
council
go Lisa.
decides that.
pardon?
really, someone wants to hear me?
I do.
This wasn't meant to become an argument. It's just meant to be able to do what we can do best for everybody, to work together. We had an ordinance when I came here for this position. That ordinance went away. We never put that ordinance back in place. If we want to continue discussing who does what and how we do this better, I wasn't here for the beginning of this, when you guys started your things or took away anything. I wasn't here for any of that. I came into the middle of that. We got rid of the position, we brought back a position, we did not bring back an ordinance for that position. We don't have that job description like we do for everybody else. We have been talking for so long now about doing job descriptions and updating our ordinances and doing everything that's gonna be beneficial for us as council, for our community, for our residents, for everybody involved. This is a start for that. If no one is on board at this moment, then we continue to work it through. But eventually we have to come down to something. We have to have a solution. We have to be able to all work together for this. This isn't opposed to who does what or who does what better. It's to be who can do what and who can help each other get to where we need to be. We have a lot of room to grow in the city, and we need to stop fighting with each other and figure out a way to make it work together. This was just my step in starting. Where I have other departments that I need to do things like this for. I need to do job descriptions for. There's things we've been talking about for months that none of us have done. And we're just trying to take that step to get them done. That's why we're doing a first reading. That's why we wanted to have a normal conversation to find out what we do agree upon, what we don't agree upon, and how we can fix it. I don't want it to be a battle. I just want it to be able so we can work together for ourselves and for our residents.
No, I agree with what you're saying. I just don't think we need the ordinance. It's my own opinion. I think that, as you said about cross-training, that's fine. As you said in there, in how bullet number 11, knowing the duties. He can learn the duties in the process. It's just like when Robin, we didn't change Robin's, the administrative assistant position to say you need to learn this, that, and other. We just said, hey, we need you to learn this. We didn't have to change, we didn't change any of those things. It's just like anything with the code office, with any position, hey, we need you to learn this for just in case X happens or Y happens.
But unfortunately, we have a lot of times when we ask our people to learn something, and then they do something, and then someone questions why they're doing it. So we have to have a clear piece across the board for everybody.
Here's a question, okay. If we got Derek a more detailed job description, would that suffice? Or do we need to have the ordinance?
I'm not opposed to starting with the job description. I just want us to start somewhere. And we've had the ordinances in the past.
So let's do this. This is my opinion, council can vote. I say we table it, come back next meeting with a job description that we can discuss and figure out, and then we can vote on the job description, and then at a later meeting, see how we can move forward.
But I want to continue moving forward. I don't want us going backwards.
No.
And I feel like we're going to continue going backwards.
Well, I mean, as you said, we're gonna get a job description. That's one step forward.
As long as we start there.
Yeah, that's why I say we do that.
So you'd be willing to bring a proposal back for next meeting for us?
I already have everything together. It wasn't just a fly of the
No,
seat of my
and you're
pants
right,
kind of thing.
there's nothing on the table for him, description wise. It's about time we get our act together and get it
We
done.
just started with that everywhere, and so I decided, I don't want to say I decided, it was just time to start making those decisions. We've been talking about it for months.
So, thank you.
So are we
I'm
going
okay
to,
with tabling it.
well,
I'm okay with tabling it for a job description at our next meeting.
all right, I'll second the table.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Ister. Savage.
Yes.
Procius.
Yes.
Martina.
Oh, yes.
Councilman Barnhart, you're up for a little bit.
I make a motion to terminate Michael Rhodes from the Code Enforcement Office.
Second.
Martina.
Yes.
Ister.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Procius.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Keep going, Councilman Barnhart.
Have the first reading, chapter 175, 112 of the zoning fee ordinance to revise.
What about the public safety logistics?
I didn't get there yet. Oh, yeah, I did. There it is.
Skip over it.
We're kind of reinventing the wheel here for, in the code office. I'd like to start, the correct title is Sunbury Code Logistics Officer. I have the job description here, the objective and the duties and responsibilities. Anybody like to see it? And besides creating that position, I'd like to start advertising for it right away. So I make a motion to create this job code logistics officer position and to start advertising for it. The pay will be, start off at $19 an hour, will be full-time position.
Oh, Brandon.
I don't know that I can amend somebody else's motion. but I want to amend it.
What are we meant? I'm
Well,
sorry.
so I think part of the discussion was that we weren't going to fill another position that exists now, so the code officer supervisor. So I'll add a caveat. I mean, like, I don't know.
Yeah, okay, what's the caveat?
So the caveat is, that, we can vote on this and I can vote yes I'll say I'm gonna vote yes, as long as we don't fill the other code officer supervisor position. I don't want two positions.
Yes, you're saying you don't want two supervisory positions.
Right.
You want this to be filled first prior to any other.
John, so can you just amend the motion to say, you're replacing the code officer supervisor position with this one?
But it isn't really swapping one for the other. This is a whole new, we're inventing the wheel, this is a whole new position other than supervisor. There wasn't a supervisor position years ago, other councilman, Chris Reese started that. Right now, we are doing very well with, somebody's just in charge that just grabbed it. So until, I like to get this one going first and then explore if their job description could include that also down the road. I won't create a supervisory position along with this one, either this one will
Oversee it all.
But right now I just like to get this one in place, because this is for the one we talked about before with the nuisance abatement ordinance and
Working with the police.
police and the booting and the towing and,
So you just want to make sure we're not hiring two people?
Yep.
well, no, we're not going to. That isn't gonna happen.
I will still second it.
Now, wait a second, before you were saying you're gonna have someone, and you're changing that now.
Okay, so right now, so what he's saying is, he wants to create this position and advertise it.
I don't know.
So he is not creating a supervisory position for the code office or filling a supervisory for the code office at this time. He wants to get this position up and running. This position can entail overseeing the code office and so forth.
Right, there's gonna be this and a supervisor. This person that we hire for this, if council approves it, we create this position. Down the road.
The duties will fall into that.
We can add the duties to it today.
I still second.
But you are agreeing there's only going to be one person hired?
Correct.
Okay, I can get on board with that.
Martina,
Yes.
Ister,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Procius.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Councilman Barnhart, keep going.
Where am I at now?
Now you're at the first
Okay,
reading.
now the first reading, to revise the 175-112 zoning fee ordinance. I'd like to make a motion to update that.
Second.
Ister,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Procius,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes,
Martina.
Keep going, Councilman Barnhart.
this is the last one. I
Finally.
promise. And before it's in my budget, just so you know that. I'd like to make a motion for, we hired a code clerk, Sherwood Delsite, as a part-time code clerk, and her pay rate will be $60 an hour. Make a motion to.
Second.
That is part-time, correct?
Correct, part-time.
Second.
Martina,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Ister,
Yes.
Procius,
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Councilman Savage, go right ahead, sir.
I would like to make a motion, we approve the abstracts and vouchers for the general fund in the amount of $150,127.83. Private grants in the amount of $321,983.36, and payroll in the amount of $69,774.12.
Procius.
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Martina,
Yes.
Ister, Savage.
Yes.
Discussion items, fire department consolidation building / location. Councilman Barnhart, do you want to talk and I'll talk and I'll chime in whenever you want me to talk, or?
Well, the consolidation has happened. Like, right, they have, the bylaws were approved.
It's in the process of happening.
In the process of hasn't happened yet.
I thought you said the bylaws were approved.
Approved.
And the name was changed.
They adopted a new name for the new entity.
What is, it's Sunbury Regional
Sunbury Regional Volunteer Fire Rescue.
Fire Rescue.
Yeah, that's the right order.
Getting the location, for money wise, to save money, we have, I don't know if, one position we talked about was a Goodwill playground, and getting a pole building like Shannon has, and getting like a six
Big
big garage, big building there for the fire department to go in that, and, put down bare bones for right now with enough room to add on as needed. That's why I asked you guys to come for your input when you.
I'm not interested in that wall ever, so.
Well, thanks, John.
Rick Sharam, chairing the steering committee. One of our primary concerns with putting a new fire location is keeping it out of the 100-year floodplain.
Can I interrupt you right there, sir? Rick, if there's a flood out and that wall breaks, you ain't gonna have to worry about no fires in the lower end. And there is, and if a water's coming up, we can take a fire truck and put it up on the hill, one or two. So let's face it, if that wall breaks, Sunbury's gone.
As I was saying, one of our goals is to keep one of my personal goals is to keep the building out of the 100-year floodplain, which means anywhere on the hill is out of the floodplain. Anywhere else, the Goodwills, the gut is right there. It's actually a low spot in town right there behind the Goodwills. Talked to people who were down there in 1972. You might have been one of them. I mean, it's a low spot. Regardless of what the wall does, I don't really want to invest millions and millions of dollars if I don't have to in a spot of that location. I might as well build it at the high school in Josh's track field. You know, because that's about the same thing.
You already spent $7 million, let's
I
do
know.
more.
I could have built a station for that. But I mean, to me, to put a building that way. Now, the example I use is the Dennison Library. Years ago, when they built that, 20+ years ago, people were upset because they were putting it there on 5th Street. So they compromised and said, let's move all the books upstairs, which is out of the 100-year floodplain. I can't do that with a fire station. You spend millions of dollars on a fire station, you want it as safe as possible. First off, I don't know if that piece of land is available. We'd have to have conversations with people, and I'm guessing somebody up there at that front table did already. And then we'd have to see, you know, there's other properties available in Sunbury that are not down in the floodplain per se. But yeah, the companies now, we're all still in discussions, and it's a matter of settling up some details before we decide who's in all the way and who's not. Nobody signed anything that said we're in 100%. It's kind of like dealing with family. Everybody wants to do it, but everybody has to be happy. We'll do it, but.
Is there any locations that you feel that the city or the fire department could purchase for a reasonable price?
Well, reasonable is a term that is a questionable term.
I'll say,
Because one man's reasonable is another man's.
What is fair, I'll say, what is fair market value in Sunbury? We'll put it like that.
I'm not a realtor, I don't know fair market value. There's a very good sized property sitting up on 11th Street that's available. Right now it's white, it's sitting there empty, it's been empty for a while. The weeds aren't maintained, you know, you can probably just walk in that building anytime you want. That's the largest piece of land up on the hill that's available. It's gonna take some money to turn that building over, which obviously the city is where we look for that. I had a meeting with a funding specialist that Senator Culver set us up with, and he said, once we get everything signed and whatnot, we can start applying for state grants, whatnot, we can apply for federal grants. I just saw recently Jersey Shore got up to $7 million of funding for a new municipal building up there, which included fire, police, and city services.
Oh, God, we did it all wrong here.
And that's kind of how we were trying to talk to the county, which we're still in the process of, to try and get a building with the 911 center. Where is they want to have a big old building, the Emerald building up there. So they're looking for someplace to go, and the more entities you can put in it, the more money you can grab. So that's what we're looking at. But we can certainly look at the Goodwills and see what they decide. So, pedestrian access. Seems to be a thing today. So, yeah, that's something we can look at. Now, the question is, if somebody gives us a piece of land for free is hard to say no to. Let's be honest. If anybody comes to me and says, I can tell you stories of fire companies that have gotten a piece of free land on the edge of their coverage area.
Yeah.
It was free, so they said, okay, we'll build here, because that's, you know, you're saving $1 million right off the top.
Yeah.
Celotex last 500-year floodplain up there.
They're what?
That's 500-year floodplain of Celotex.
Yep, there's another discussion we're having with the county, and that property's been sitting, and I'm not quite sure why it's still sitting, but I know there was plans there aren't plans there. But yeah,
Just going back to the building, I mean, I know you guys came a few months ago and talked about, hey, what the estimated cost of a building. I mean, just to start, would you guys be against just having a pool barn just to house the apparatuses until you get all the other stuff on a later date, like, you know, training facilities, just, you know, all that type of stuff? Would you guys be opposed to that, just to get everything housed under one station, so you can downsize?
I personally would be, I personally, if I go January 1st, 2025, we say, okay, new consolidated Sunbury Regional Volunteer Fire Rescue is here. That means the chiefs have control of all the apparatus, everybody's under one management system. Right now, we have 7 management systems, 1 in each company, plus the chiefs. It doesn't always work, because it's like having 6 independently owned and operated franchises. So it'd be like each of your schools having a different superintendent. We won't go there. But, so, to do that, I would rather just keep everyone in their current house, which is what we're looking at, making a land lease agreement with the people and saying, okay, we're gonna keep this fire truck here until we establish, because then everyone's all in, and quite frankly, there may be some atrophy in the equipment that we have or need. Right now, one of the problems with the way we're organized is everybody just buys whatever they want. So we probably have extra stuff out there that we need to sort out as a new entity and say, okay, do we need this many of this, or we need this much of that? And probably have some downsizing there over the next 2 to 4 years. But first, we gotta get everybody on board. But yeah, the property issue is, we've talked about the playground for the last 5 years down there at Goodwill. So there's a nice piece of property, but my understanding was they're content keeping it a playground. But, so, I mean, but other than that, I don't know if there's any other possibilities of property that, big chunks of property that are big enough. Goodwill certainly is, the former Garden Crest, because I'm old, Baker site, is, I was driving down Market Street, looking at all those lots there next to Sunbury Sub Shop. Those go deep. I'm thinking, there's only 1 or 2 buildings there, but I don't know who owns what. I don't want to put it on Market Street, because we talked about the Alexander building, but that's going to be a big building. That's a nice building. It's in good shape. So location is one of the things that keeps me up at night. It's like, where are we going to put this? And
We'll give you this, so.
well, we could always put together a plan with the right people involved. We could build a new fire station. We could have a new police station. We could have.
Well, we already paid on the current one, so I don't know if that's.
We could have a new city hall. We could have some place, and that's how it's done. The more groups.
The more you have consolidated, the more groups you have, the better off.
And I have to talk to Mr. Chicatano again and make a back about it and say, hey, because they have another property they're looking at out of the prison site that they probably have. They don't have a building to maintain, where they're probably not word on the street, they're going to convert and maybe go there for a new 911 center. But moving a 911 center is a $10 million job. Oh, takes a lot of equipment, so it's not like you just pick up your
computer.
But that's one of the possibilities, but it is on the list. South Texas hanging out there, I'm not quite sure what the county's going with that either, or what's going on there, depending who you listen to. The other South Texas is kind of there on the edge. The way we're running fire calls right now, Shamokin Dam might be a good spot, because Shamokin Dam, Nori, and Sunbury, we're all 3 working together, but that's just me talking out loud. Because we're all in the same boat. We're bringing 6 trucks with 1 or 2 guys each, girls, and, that's what you get. So we consolidate, we take 1 truck with 4 people and actually do some work. So, but we'll keep you in the loop. So we gotta get through these next couple months and work out some decisions amongst the companies, and hopefully we can get ready to move forward.
You said personnel, that's another issue, is getting the young people involved.
We're working on that, we're turning some wheels on that, get the young people on the fire club is starting to get geared up. That's gonna hopefully get started in the fall at the high school, make some good meetings with the principal, and try and get kids involved. It's gonna be a slow process, but just to get them the exposure, because unfortunately, no one gets exposed to the fire department unless they're having a really bad day. And that's the sad part about it, because it's probably the worst day of their life, perhaps. They don't have the exposure to it. So, and years ago, there was a much different climate in every community. Everybody's willing to pitch in and help and whatnot, but we're all too busy now, regardless of what it is.
All right, thanks guys, appreciate it. Any other comments on that? All right, moving on, boat launch lights. Jim, come on, give me something here to work with.
We're getting closer on the list.
Well, I mean, how long is this list? You know, it's going on like 3 or 4 months now since I brought it up. I talked to Saxton last week. He said about, you guys are gonna get the bucket truck down there to take some lights down. It hasn't happened yet, so is it gonna happen anytime soon? Because I said, when you leave here, you'll go down there, you'll see 8, 10 people down there with boats and trailers down there fishing. So it'd be really helpful and a lot of safety to them.
We'll take some fire vest.
Well, I mean, what's our best? Like, do you see it anytime soon? Because, you know, I don't wanna get to, you know, December and, oh man, we didn't get to it this year, maybe next year if we get lucky, so.
Should be this year.
Okay, I'll make sure I'm gonna hold you to that now, Jim. Once it becomes January, I'm gonna say, hey, remember this meeting you said this year?
You got it.
All right, I'll check with Saxton to make sure that bucket truck's gonna be available. All right, moving on, IT infrastructure citywide. So, we're getting this point here, at the end of this year, we are going to need to get new computers for pretty much all our city employees. With the new Windows 11, at least I'm talking about the police, that I know is completely citywide, that they're not gonna be able to take the new update. So we need to start getting a plan here on what we're going to do to replace these computers. Because, you know, just like last time, we had to get Steve a new one, which he needed, that was for $1,800. I mean, you do some simple math for all our computers and all our email users, I think we have about 50 that we just checked today. So you do simple math, that's on a $1,000 computer, that's $50,000. I mean, that's on an El Cheapo. So we gotta come up with a plan here. We gotta come up with another plan here. Are we gonna stick with Infradat, or are we gonna go with another company here? I just reached out to someone, they want to sit down and have a meeting with us. I think I just got the invite today. I think it's, I have to check when the invite is. I'll send it out to everyone who wants to attend and ask the questions on what they want to ask. They are a local, I don't want to say the name right now, but they are a local company. They're out of Bloomsburg. They service other municipalities in our area. Some of the stuff that they told me that, you know, they come down on site quarterly to make sure everything's running well. They have an IT person on site 24 hours a day. You can call and get in contact with someone right away. So, but besides changing IT, we got to come up with a system, because it's going to be at least $50,000. I'm not quoting $50,000, but it's going to cost thousands of dollars to update all our IT system to fit the new software. So,
Kevin, do we have an IT upgrade line item or anything like that?
We have money put away because of the fiber optics, we're scheduled for the IT upgrades.
yeah, but you know, if there's money out there.
Even with Infradat, you know, we're spending more money with Infradat than we did with MePush. And the service that we're getting from Infradat, as far as I'm concerned,
It's pretty bad. They lied to us in a sense, but it is what it is. But like I said, but still, there's still gonna be that cost. If we do switch from Infradat, we're gonna have to buy all new phones and offices, because Infradat, we paid for them through Infradat. So they're obviously probably gonna take them with us, with them. So if we don't come up, we're gonna get hit with a bill here, probably the end of the year, for $50,000, $60,000 for IT stuff. So I'm just letting council know now. Questions, statements, anybody care about the $50,000, $60,000 we're gonna spend? Or?
Or we don't spend that much, but.
I mean, we're gonna have to, because
But do we want to figure out who we're gonna use for IT before we start looking
and make
for
that
everything else?
transition all one shot.
Yes.
But no, I'm just saying, but our computers may not make it to next year at this time.
We want to start that process sooner rather than later.
Yeah, because, you know, our Infradat contract runs up sometime next year in 2025. We're not sure that our computers and laptops will make it to 2025.
Okay.
Because some of the stuff now with the police, we need to upgrade, and it's now allowing us to upgrade to the new software because the computers are so outdated.
Jeff, does,
Lisa makes a good point, though. The new companies would be switching.
Oh yeah, and so there's no down mouse, but
Rely on them to give us the information what we're going to be doing.
what, a little bit about that, they said they do not purchase the equipment for us, but knowing what our budget is, they can, like, for example, I don't need the top of the top, because I don't need all the special software. They can say, all right, my budget's here's a computer that will fit your budget for your needs. They'll do that stuff for us, but they won't actually purchase it for us because of.
If they give us a quote, you know the number we're paying in for that. There should be a savings in that money there to move towards a new computer.
Yeah, but I'm saying the new computers may have to be replaced before the end of this year, and our contract for Infradat isn't up until next year.
Yeah, what is the time frame? I don't know the date.
It's sometime over the summer months. I don't know the exact.
are we expecting any more money from fiber optics?
Yes, we got a check there. Did we get a check this year yet?
We got one year for back stuff, but I don't know if that was all of it or not.
We still get an annual one, right?
Right, but we might have gotten paid for 24, I'm not sure. It could be in the agreement that Joel.
You'll have to see in there.
Somebody has to do that, so.
We could basically try to meet these people now, get an
Correct.
idea of what we wanna do, and if
Correct.
we know at some point we're gonna switch, and we
Yeah.
have to purchase, we will purchase instead of going through.
Yeah.
Adapt at this point, so
Yeah.
kind of,
No, I'm,
we can get that whole backstory if we start soon.
no, I'm agreeing, I'm just saying, but the plan for, we're gonna have to make those purchases regardless.
Correct, so we have to figure out where it's coming.
Yeah, we have to figure it out now, and if there's money out there for grants, all right, hey, even if it's only $5,000-$10,000, hey, $5,000-$10,000, that's less we gotta spend, so
So we
this,
just have to figure out what is in our line item currently, what we're gonna need.
yeah, and then
And then just go
move
from there.
forward. And in reality, I mean, anyone knows computers, like, if you don't replace a computer every 2 to 3 years, it's outdated regardless. And heck, I know some computers are 3-4 years old, and, you know, they're still back in, you know, dial-up ages here on speed, so.
I think, can we put it out for bids or proposals to do like an IT
Yeah.
package, like IT package and also computer replacement? Because I mean, then you're gonna get the local people that can bid anyway. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we can do that, I'm just saying, we have to figure out something before it's too late.
I'd
Not too
rather
late,
see
that's
it go
all.
out and be fair to local people in the city than
It should
jumping
be
over
put
the
up
account.
for that kind of money.
Oh, we can do that, it's not an issue, we can,
And we can describe them what we want, you know, we're gonna need computer replacements, we're gonna need service, we're gonna need support, we can put it all right
yeah.
there.
And we can have Joel write something up there and release it there, and in the meantime, if anybody else reaches out, they can still, you know, see what services they may offer. Questions on that? All right, moving on, city events. So this was a big one that I hear a lot of, we'll call it constructive criticism with city events. Not even just city events, different smaller events across the city where people have mini block parties, shut down streets. There's a lot of concern from either it's businesses or residents when their street is being blocked off for an event, they're not being informed that it's happening, and then the day of, I can't park outside my house, or I can't get to my house, or the business, like I'm a business on Market Street and no one told me there's gonna be an event here today and my patrons can't get here. So whether it's,
Or they're not invited to participate in the.
whatever it may be, there's a lot of constructive criticism on how there has to be better communication, whether it's between the city or the person hosting it or the person having a little block party. There has to be a better means of communication.
So we have that, what's the system we have?
We're gonna have, Rave's not up and running yet, but two things we can do is either with our Rave system,
Exactly.
or something out front of the building, like Josh had brought up a few months ago about a board.
I think so. Rave system.
No, I mean, we have both are options, but the Rave, so we're just not, we're close.
Okay. Listen, that was like, it was just a citywide thing that, you know, when there's, I'm just using the example of the Halloween, I'm just using the Halloween parade example. When they, you know, shut down the street, I was like, oh, I didn't know when the Halloween parade was, or this. It's like, no, I can't park in front of my house. I mean, I get it, we're never gonna keep everybody happy, but we also have to do a better means of communication on our end as the city if we're gonna continue to do this stuff. So, as you said, the Rave's communication system could be an answer, and marquee out front could be an answer as well. All right, that way I can say I brought it up.
October, sorry, back to the IT, October 2025.
So October of 2025, we still have some time to figure, I'm a lot of time, but time to figure it out. And this was the last one here, I'm just gonna add this for discussion, this happened today. So Jeff, what program, I get the acronym.
And the ODR, a state program.
Oh, OVR, so a state program when there are different kids that were not sponsored, but came through from the school, supervised from the school, who did work around the city. You may have seen them, they're out painting curbs, did other small stuff for the city. So once the kids, we'll call it graduate out, you know, we had an opportunity, the Department of Labor, she came here, loved the program, loved what we did, it was something new in the area, it was a great thing. And now we have the opportunity, one of the kids is old enough to become a worker and they want to work, not like they actually want to get a job. And we talked with Steve and he wanted to bring this up here tonight that maybe we look to hire one of these individuals out of the program and make them like one of the city worker floaters, we'll call them for lack of terms, like, hey, maybe DPW needs them for a day. Or maybe Parks and Rec needs them for a day or for an event, or code needs them for something. They keep them a floater throughout the city. And it to be a good success story for the program. Hey, this is, you know, you worked hard, you graduated out, hey, you're looking for a job, luckily we had the opportunity to hire you. So I just, they just wanted me to bring that up. I didn't know if that's something you'd be interested in doing.
Does the position exist?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, obviously, Steve's looking for part-time workers. Yeah, it'd be part-time, Parks and Rec's looking for part-time. Yeah, it'd be like summer work, and then now, the big question was now, Steve was worried about this, so I bring it up now. He didn't want, he wanted to take all the money out of his department. I said, no, that's not right, Steve. If he's working for Parks and Rec, some of that salary should come out of Parks and Rec budget as well. So, he just wanted me to ask if he is being thrown between departments, that it comes out of that department's line item for part-timers.
What do you think?
It's working for me, I pay it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're all getting paid, I mean, it's all coming out of the same bank account, but, I just wanted to ask that question, because I know Steve would come ask him, well, Jen said he wasn't paying for him, so he'd be all mad about it.
I thought that all.
Okay, so so what we can do, we can look into it, see how many other workers are eligible or do want to work, and come back and see how it goes. Okay, that's good. All right, so,
Mr. Mayor.
yes, sir.
Bring it to that letter for comment.
I will let you on. All right, announcements. We are accepting letters of one open spot on the Harb. Must be a licensed contractor. Please contact Robin or Jeff in the mayor's office. Accepting letters of interest for 7 open spots on the nuisance abatement. Please contact Jeff or Robin.
That nuisance abatement, the appeal board, that goes hand in hand with the new position that's opening. That's part of the wheel we're trying to invent. So if you could put something in the paper about accepting that, I'd appreciate it. The nuisance abatement for 5 active and 2 alternates. I'll give you the info.
So, for the people that are within the
There is
city,
no board, right?
I don't know if you guys
There's
can,
no board yet.
one has to be a councilperson, but the other 2, can you mandate people? I can't be the person because I oversee the blighted property review committee. So I can't oversee, and John's on it with me, we can't be on it if they're appealing to the people that put them on it.
Yes, I'll do it.
Okay,
I'll put my letter of interest into Jeff or Robin. All right, anything else, John?
that's it.
All right, tomorrow, Joe Senecker, WNEP, is doing his Go for Joe. He will be at Cameron Park tomorrow. So we're having a few food stands out front, dunking booth to help raise the funds for St. Joe's Hospital, so feel free to stop out. I know we're having son of a butcher, shake your buns and do the twist. Light Fest is gonna be there. I heard Santa May make an appearance. I'm gonna be in the dunk tank.
And I'm gonna watch.
And he's gonna watch. John says he's bringing his $100 bills to dunk me, so that's a good time there. Christmas in July will be Saturday, July 27th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Cameron Park. National Night Out will be August 6th up at the James Eister Community Center from 5 to 8. Just some stuff about that, some demonstrations. We're gonna have Constable Spiegelmeyer doing a demonstration of a dog attack. We're gonna be having possible tasing, well, it won't be possible, we're gonna have tasing demonstrations with either myself or the chief and hopefully DA O'Donnell and someone from the school district.
The firefighters are gonna pull the police in the swimming pool.
Yeah, we're gonna have a tug of war between the fire department and the police department. Bet your money on the police. So that's that for National Night Out. The Latin Festival will be Saturday, August 10th in Merle Phillips Park, down by the river. The next council meeting will be taking place August 12th at 6:15 here in the council chambers. Now, at this time, is there...
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
you said you want to put your name in for the appeals board.
Yes, sir.
Well, get to that appeals board, they also can appeal back to council. We'll ask Joel for that clarification, but I think
If I can do it, I will. If I can't, Joel will tell me I can't, and we'll have someone else do it.
It's the city council person, so we would have to change the ordinance.
Yeah, somebody has to do it. That's the one city council person.
Yeah.
One of you 5, according to the way it's written here.
I didn't write it.
So, we'll ask Stroh for clarification.
We'll figure it out one way or another. All right. Announcement or comment? Francis. Comment. Public comment. Please state your name, sir.
You know who I am.
Right now, you know who I am.
Everybody in here kind of, we all know it, which is a good thing, but I actually just asked a question and I have to ask for Josh. These meetings anymore with how it is, there's no security in this place whatsoever. Somebody walks in here right now, it's a disaster. So I don't know if they were supposed to be here, they're
There,
not
there was
here.
someone supposed to be here, unfortunately, there are other pressing matters, they could not be here this evening to be in the meeting.
I had to ask it just because.
Yeah, that's why. I said normally there would be here, but they had other issues occur that someone couldn't be here tonight right now.
I see it all the time in the news and everything else, and a lot of people don't like Jim. I just.
We'll stop putting bad press out there about him, and no one would know.
Well, Francis, aren't you packing?
No, no, I'm standing by, I don't wanna be anywhere near you when they come.
I'll save you, Francis.
Thanks, thanks.
Please say your name.
Hi, Jody Alker. So on behalf of Sunbury Revitalization, I just wanted to mention also in events, August 16th and 17th is River Festival. That will include a car cruise in that will be right on this side of Cameron Park and using your parking lot. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then September 20th is the Lake Augusta Wine and Roof Festival. September 20th is a Friday, so we're trying something different. It's Friday, 4:30 to 8:30, trying to capture that after-work crowd before people leave and go home and then don't come back. A lot of people work in the city that live elsewhere. We want to try to capture that crowd. And then also, I want to extend an invitation and announce that there will be a Sunbury Business Owners annual dinner. The date will be September 30th. That's the 5th Monday of September. And I'm inviting all of the city officials to come. We're going to have, we're going to give an overview to the business owners, especially about the Blueprint Communities program. And we're also, that's the business's opportunity to give us input. We're going to have a guest speaker there, dynamic, energetic, lots of fun, and that's going to be a way we're going to get the business owners to be able to give their input on what they want to see downtown Sunbury look like in the future. So September 30th, please save the date.
What time is that, Jody?
It'll be probably 5, 6 in the evening.
Okay.
And right now, we would like to make that event free for everyone, but we will see where we get the funding. But that's the intention, and so.
And at the Albright?
It'll be at the Albright. And then we're planning a community engagement event on October 12th, which is a Saturday. Derek is helping me remember the dates. And again, we're having the same facilitator come. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be probably in Cameron Park. You need to reserve Cameron Park, which we'll put the paperwork in. But then we want to invite the community to be able to provide their input. Wednesday, there is the Blueprint Communities workshop. This is all 10 participating communities and their 10-person team. So 10 teams of 10 will be at the Albright Center. This is our next workshop in the program. And we are going to be talking about community engagement. And so, we're happy to be hosting and bringing 100 people into town for the day.
What's the time for that?
That's the seminar starts at 10, breakfast at 9:15, but that's for the teams. It's not general public invitation.
You need to know something to get into that one.
Yeah, we will share with you everything we learn after that.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jody. Any other public comment at this time? Please state your name.
Erica Miller-Driscoll, local business owner. Now that we don't have a health inspector, our health inspection has since expired and not been inspected yet. We just want to ask, are we still in code? Are we not going to, just don't want to be in any violation because we haven't been inspected?
No, you wouldn't be in any violation, correct, Jeff? And
What business?
Bottle Works.
and we're in the process of getting.
Yeah, we did get a phone call
Okay.
saying that they were coming and set up a date because we were due the end of June.
Okay.
And then they called and said that they had to cancel our appointment because of some reason, and then get back to us.
From code or from the state?
No, the local health
Oh,
inspector.
Well, the
So I'm
state
assuming code.
inspector will come and do you guys. So I'll call the state inspector tomorrow to come and do you guys.
That's what we're doing for now,
Okay.
till we get somebody either in-house or somebody on paper to let council, the
Yeah,
public
because I know there's a
know.
couple of us who are all due, like us business owners are talking, a
Yeah.
couple of us that were all due the end of June, and they weren't done yet, so like, I know, my husband's very concerned. We gotta find out.
Yeah, so, we'll get the call out, I mean, but you guys will be good, if anything should come about, reach out to us, and we'll make sure everything is good to go.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other public comment after this time? Please state your name.
Julie Brocious. I just want to go back to the IT equipment. Have you considered reaching out to like Cisco or Dell to get the equipment and then, of course, have somebody local support it?
Those are options we can look into. Like I said, we're still in the planning stages of figuring out what direction we want to go. Luckily, we have time before the contract's up, but we also have a little bit of time before possibly the end of the year's over to figure it out. But that could be an option that we look into. Thank you for that suggestion.
No problem. And just to tag on to the fireman event, school board has not heard anything about the club. So I kind of rattled some cages last week with a email to get a status. And sure enough, there it was. So
We're trying to set up a meeting right now with the superintendent. I didn't tell John or Rick yet, I wanted them to be part of it.
But now they know about it.
yeah. Yeah, he's a little lax sometimes.
All right, thank you. Anything else, Julie?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Any other public comment? Please state your name.
Victoria Rosenheim. I just want to touch base on the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. That's what OVR stands for. Near and dear to my heart. So are those individuals, usually through OVR, they have a type of IDD or autism or something like that. So just be mindful, okay, and when you're getting into that, they might need a job coach, they're going to need some coaching or things like that, okay? So just please, because I was so pleased to see that. I was an employment specialist, I worked with OVR for like 4 years, and it's great stuff, and I will tell you, what typically happens is, they're gonna be your best employees, okay? So,
Oh yeah, they did a great job.
they don't wanna take a break, they don't wanna go to lunch, they wanna keep working, so please just, guide them through that, be open to job coaching and things like that, because it's a win-win for everybody.
They're going to come with someone.
Yeah,
They're
so
gonna
that's
come with
right.
someone. I said, hopefully we get them until they go through high school, and then this is their first job, so speak
Yeah.
about.
And that's a huge opportunity, because as I was out there, and that's what I did for 4 years, and I would go into municipalities or businesses in the area, and they would say things to me, why would I hire a crazy person, I already have enough working here. Okay, so, and I would say, you be careful, because there could be a lawsuit, which will sit on my desk in Washington for 8 years, but hey, so thank you for opening those doors for them, because it's huge, and that is gonna set them up for their adulthood. That is gonna make them successful in our community. That's gonna make them not have to rely on Social Security and all those things. So that is amazing, so thank you. Just also, not to steal Riverfest thunder, but there is an event at the Goodwill Playground August 17th from 12 to 4. It's an all-inclusive splash day. I can send you the information. It's an all-inclusive splash day. We're setting up sprinklers, thank you. The lovely assistant. 6'2" sprinklers. We have all kinds of, we're going to be doing food and all that, and that is for children and adults with intellectual disabilities. Marikey, Goodwill, Bottle Works, Type Physical Therapy, and we have a whole bunch of other providers coming in. The reason why we did that, Ron did that great, young lady did that event at the pool on June 30th was just an amazing night again. So thank you, if there were no cost in that, to see the joy in those children who have autism, who can't handle all that noise and stuff, typical, smiles and just, actually I had tears in my eyes at some point seeing those families be able to have that moment with their families. So we want to keep that going in Sunbury. So, that'll be August 17th. So when you go out front, we're ready for Snedeker. Go Joe 27's ready in the park. Blow, what does it say? Blow up and go. I don't know. My head hurts so bad. But anyway, the blow ups are out there, and then we're putting up a huge 12-footer tomorrow morning. So we're ready for go.
And just going back to the OVO, Victoria.
OVR.
OVR, sorry, wow. OVR. It's been a long day. So same thing when Michelle Erdman, the person from the school district who was working with the kids, when they were driving throughout town, she said the pride the kids took of the work that they did, saying, hey, I painted that curb, I did that. And she said when they got upset when they saw people littering, saying, we just cleaned that up the other day, now they're littering. So they took pride in what they did. It was a great experience, and we're welcoming them back next year. And like I said, they were a huge asset for the city when they were here for these 6 weeks. So hopefully they continue want to come back here because it was a really great experience for them, and not only for them, but for us as well. So.
Yeah, and like I said, Sunbury set a precedent in the state with that.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, it's huge, and like I said, I was doing that work, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, thank you. So,
Any other public comment at this time?
I just had one quick clarification. When you guys, at the last meeting, you talked about the sandwich boards in the park, what was the decision then?
There wasn't really a final decision, it was just as of right now, Joe
Joel was looking into the legality of some of the stuff.
So Joel was looking into the legality of some of that stuff.
Okay.
Defend that right away.
yeah, it was the right.
It was like the very next weekend, there was a sandwich board in the park, so
I heard back from PennDOT, and they said as long as it isn't obstructing traffic, it's fine.
it's fine. So anybody can put one out there then.
I think if we're going to go that route, I think, as it was stated previously, there has to be rules and regulations, how it's gonna affect certain things. As we said, Christmas time, there we go. During Christmas time, what's it gonna mean for trees and things like that? I know Councilman Barnhart and I were discussing, like, we don't obviously want it to intrude with that kind of stuff, so we make regulations, they can't be up during those months. But if we are going to allow them, you know, being uniform, being taken up and taken down, being staked in the ground, so on and so forth. So, once a final decision is made, we will let the businesses, whoever know.
All right, I wasn't sure how you guys actually voted that night.
Joe, can I ask who it was?
I think it was the Sonic Lodge, I think it was a Chinese auction or something, but they had their sandwich board out
That
there.
was John then.
Yeah. But
Any other public comment
I
at
just
this
wasn't sure
time?
how it went.
Any other public comment at this time? I adjourn this meeting.